Overstimulation, written by MythiCreature. School was pretty easy for you, at least under most circumstances. If you were given a one-on-one tutor in a quiet room, you could be done with this year's work in a month tops. But, unfortunately, you weren't given that opportunity. Instead, you were always stuck in a loud, chaotic classroom where hardly anyone paid attention, and you could barely hear the teacher, much less concentrate. This, quite obviously, made it hard to pass tests and finish assignments. Usually, you could just slip on your headphones, turn on your music, and zone out. But right now, that wasn't an option. The teacher was giving the whole class a lecture that you needed to pay attention to in order to understand the topic. But it seemed that no one else in the class was even trying to listen. Almost everyone was talking amongst themselves. Midoriya was muttering up a storm. Bakugo, held back by an equally loud Kirishima, was yelling at someone, and that someone that you couldn't single out was yelling back at him. While Sero and Kaminari were either making bets or playing rock, paper, scissors, you had no idea at this point. And that wasn't all. The girls of the class were gossiping loudly, and Ito was trying his damn best and loudest to calm everyone down, adding more to the chaos. Relatively, these were not the loudest sounds you'd ever heard, nor the loudest in the world. But the volume was never the issue. It was the sheer number, the frequency, and the chaos that made your hands shake. It wasn't just the noise either. The way people were moving so erratically, causing the ground to shake with their heavy footsteps, was overwhelming. And the sights, sounds, and sensations were coming in too fast for you to process. It was suffocating. You tried to keep looking at your work to try and figure things out on your own, but you could hardly recognize words anymore. Your vision began to swim as tears threatened to fall from your eyes, shaking your shoulders involuntarily. You needed a release. You needed something to vent your stress, anxiety, and tension onto, and you needed it now. The pen in your hand clattered to your desk, the sound drowned out by the chaos. You desperately wanted to run, but your legs wouldn't move. Everything felt horrible and terrible. Your skin crawling with hundreds of eyes that would be on you if you cracked or made a scene. And you were so close to breaking. But thankfully someone noticed before you did. The boy you loved, the boy who you cared for, and the boy who sat in front of you, Mashirao Ojiro. He always seemed to have a sort of psychic bond with you, always knowing when you were upset, scared, or even when you just needed a hug. So, when he turned and saw you, head down, eyes watery and trembling like a tree in a hurricane, he acted immediately. Before your eyes, a small tuft of golden hair appeared, tickling gently at your nose. You looked up, finally realizing that his tail was what was before you, while his gaze was turned. You stared into those eyes of his, the kind eyes that you first fell in love with, the gentle smile you urged to protect, and the softest of features that you wanted to hug all day. But his tail would do. As soon as you wrapped your arms around his soft, fluffy tail, all your worries melted away. The chaos didn't matter anymore. The sounds weren't as distracting, and you could close your eyes and dissolve into his warm touch. Now you could focus, having something to ground yourself as you intently listened and retained information. But not before you gave your own smile to Ojiro, trying your best to match the kindness in his eyes and the warmth in his smile. Giving you a small thumbs up, he turned back to his work. You prayed that he knew how thankful you were for helping you before you caused a scene and ruined your own day, and how much you wanted to repay him. But don't worry. He knew.